Welcome to episode 33 of the Be Unfiltered podcast. I'm your host, Brittany.
This is your co-host, Ivy.
It's been a while. We've been on a break, Ivy. How you been? You been good?
Yeah, just been trying to, I guess, get everything in order for what I have coming up soon. So that's been kind of, I won't say like stressful, but I'm more anxious than anything.
Okay.
But so yeah, I've just been trying to get myself together mentally, and then physically because I'm ripping and running up and down the road. So
is it like something in your personal life? It's like a business venture? Like, is it a bunch of stuff?
Mainly in my personal life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out the business venture piece of it, but it's like I have so much going on in my personal life right now. I haven't even had time to focus on it. So
yeah. Well, whatever it is you got going on, good vibes, good energy, always prayers for, whatever it is to work out the way that you want it. I've been enjoying this break, but I did not take a break for real. All I did was replace this podcast with other stuff. Like, this is so true to me. I don't even know how to take a break all the way. I realized I need to take a break when my brother was like, "When do you sleep?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, I sleep a lot, but I realized I'm like, gosh, it probably does look like I have a lot going on. And then I was like, okay, you don't just look like you have a lot going on. You actually have a lot going on. And so I was like, yeah, I got to take a break from the podcast. I knew you had things going on in your personal life. So I was like, okay, this is a good time for us to just take a second and breathe or whatever. But then I started crafting. My event planning business blew up in March. Like all these events I booked and I had new clients. Yeah, it's good. But I'm like, oh my God. So I am just trying to take some time to breathe and to focus and to not put my hand in too many pots because I have a tendency to do that. So I've just been kind of so I haven't done everything I wanted to do podcast-wise for our break. I did find us what I hope to be new software we can use consistently. So hopefully y'all, this will work out. We were using a different one before the break, and every time we pressed the mute button, the whole thing would just like mess up. It was like a disaster. So this software, it seems to be working better so far. We used this software in the past, but it didn't have the video capability until a couple of months ago. I think it's still in the beta of the video, but it seems to be pretty good.
I can tell the video on this is already 10 times better.
10 times better. And the sound quality is better. Like, I don't feel like every time you talk, it pauses on my side.
Right.
So far I like this. And I think that I like it because the difference is it does 2 local recordings. So we both get a recording on each of our sides. And it's not trying to record one track all at once. So from an audio perspective, that's like way better. So y'all, here's to hopefully have a video moving forward. With that being said, it is a Friday. I don't think we've ever recorded on a Friday before.
I don't think we have either.
Me neither. So that's interesting, but we're here. I am ready for the summer. I think my body's not ready, but my mind is ready. So
I'm ready. My body just gonna have to catch up.
Yeah, like y'all gonna get what y'all get. Like that's just kind of how I feel right now. I was laughing the other day because I was like, niggas still choosing. So and not that I even want them. It's just the fact to know, like, okay, I'm not doing so bad on these streets. But I am really just trying to do this because I personally it's bad because it's like the workouts I'm doing are strengthening my legs. So my clothes and my jeans are not fitting any better because my legs are getting stronger because they're getting bigger. So it's like for me, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So finally I did some measurements the other day, compare what I had done in February to something I had done either at the beginning of this month or at the end of last month. And I was like, okay, so it's little inches are coming off. It's not what I want to see. Like I want more, but I was like, I'm going to take my time because I want this to be consistent and I want this to be lasting and not like some quick fast lose 20 pounds and then I gain 15 right back. So
right, yeah. And you don't want to be out here looking like you on crack or something.
No, I don't. And that's how I felt when I got down to like super low weight at the end of last year. I was looking at my pictures and my head was big as shit. Like I was like, my body did not. So I'm only trying to get down like 20 pounds would be good. 15 would be great. I'm just trying to get some of this, extra weight off that I just feel like, I feel sluggish. So, I did a spin class right before this. And this was my second time going to this particular studio. And a friend of mine is an instructor there. And the first time I went, girl, I compared the number the first time I went to what I did the last time. And I was like, wow, I'm getting so much better at this spin stuff. So it's little non-scale victories that are keeping me going, because I'd be ready to quit every week. I'd be like, fuck this.
You gotta celebrate those small wins, though.
You have to. You really have to. So yeah, y'all, if you're, I also wanted to say this. We have to give each other some grace right now, because I was watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, and they were all talking how they gained somewhere between 10 to 25 pounds. Yeah. I think Kenya said she even gained like 30. And so I was like, okay, if these regular ass women that are like millionaires are gaining weight during COVID, my regular ass is gonna gain weight, like clearly. And
I mean, that's all you had to. I mean, all we had to do was eat
and cook. That was it. That was it. Yep.
And try new recipes and everything.
That's all my ass did in 2020. I tried all the new recipes that there was to be had, and so yeah, it definitely caught up with me quicker than what I realized. It's like you never notice that you're gaining weight. It's just like one day your clothes just don't fit anymore. And so that's kind of what happened to me. And so, yeah, I was like, let me give myself some grace, because these women, they gained some too. Everybody gained a little bit. And my therapist was telling me, like, you're like stressing like you're the only person that gained the weight. She was like, almost everybody did. She's like, except for people who truly committed to fitness during COVID, and they chose like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do with my extra time, that since we're in the house. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't me. I was committed to eating and drinking. So yeah, so it's been good, y'all. I'm happy to be back. We're going to jump right into our social buzz segment. This first topic, girl. So first off, I don't keep up with these young rappers. I'm going to sound like an old ass auntie, but I don't know what's going on. Justin always has to tell me that this is who this is or whatever. And he'd be laughing at me because I'm like, what is this? I never thought I would turn into my mom. Like, y'all music sound, girl, I'm turning into...
Right.
I hate, and not all the way. I'm not like fully like my mom. Like I completely won't even give it a chance. But I'm like, yeah, no, this ain't really working for me. So
I think Milan keeps me a little young in that area, because she be all on TikTok doing all these different dances, and I hear the songs. I'm like, oh, what kind of song is this? You know, like I'm looking like, okay, this is a little catchy song, so I'll go and download the song, and then I'm like, okay. So I keep up with it that way, but no, for real, I'll be like, okay, who is this person?
What is going on? Right. Girl, I didn't even know that Soulja Boy's song, She Make It Clap. I didn't even know that was him.
I didn't even either.
I was like, I just kept seeing TikTok videos, and I was like, oh shit, they doing a little.
I was today years old when I found out it was his song.
Okay, so for me, it was like probably Friday last week, like no bullshit. I was like, oh. Matter of fact, you know when it was? When I sent you that video and I said, such and such probably wish they was in that video. Remember? Yeah. I didn't know it was Soulja Boy until I went to the comments and somebody was like, talking about we gonna put some respect on Soulja Boy's name, and I was just like, what?
I thought people were only saying it was his song because it was like Draco Soldier, you know, that part of it. But I never,
girl, it's really his damn
song. Until today, and I was like going through like browsing like new music on Apple Music, and I was like, oh shit, this is really his song.
Yes, and I was like, I had no idea. So I was like, damn, I'm really falling off out here. So with that being said, the rapper that we're gonna talk about right now, Blueface, Bust Down Tatiana. I think is what he's best known for. That's all I know him for, and not rapping on beat. Okay. So this young man, I don't know how old he is. Let me just Google because I'm serious. Blueface. I have to call him Blueface.
More like a grown boy.
Let's see. Blueface is 24 years old. I'm sorry. Okay, so he's so Blueface, 24-year-old young man. He recently posted on social media a video. And in the video, he shows, okay, I don't know what's more disturbing. Let's break it down. There's a few parts to this. So in the video, he shows a house, I'm assuming his house, and there's several women in the house, and he's going around checking to make sure that they all have his quote-unquote tattoo on them. So I couldn't tell if it was the same exact tattoo or if it just had to be something associated with him because the video wasn't very clear, but essentially he puts a stamp on all of his quote-unquote girlfriends. So for me, one, that was very disturbing. I was just like, okay, like if you choose to get a tattoo of somebody, cool, that's your thing. But like requiring it and bragging that like you're putting your stamp on them seemed very like problematic for me. But y'all, that's not where it ends. Like the part that was disturbing for me is that in this big ass house, there are like 4 bunk beds in each bedroom. And the women are literally living like a fucking dorm in there. So it's like they're all sitting in their sister wives, girlfriend wives, whatever you want to call it. And like, first off, it looked like it stank in there. It looked like it smelled like, Turns up coochie.
Ass and pussy.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you, because I didn't want to say it, but it looked like a stinking there. They were just all laid. It looked very much like a dorm, and it's like, okay, so assuming
but I don't even think like dorms in this day and time don't even have bunk beds.
No, I don't think they do either. So I'm just like, it was disturbing, y'all. It was like every room had like 4 bunk beds, and I'm like, okay, so here's my thing. You got all these bitches up in the house, and you can't even afford to get like each of them should share, maybe want to share a room or something. Like, I just don't understand. And like, it just seemed very, very weird, problematic. It seemed like and we know he's a little off because I think he's had a fight with his mom, his sister. I think he's been kind of in stuff. I think he's kind of been, I don't want to say abuse allegations, but just being a really bad man kind of allegations that he's just not a good person. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Can you even imagine?
Girl, no. Like, the first thing is he got all these different girlfriends. Mm-hmm. Second, he got them all living in the same house.
Yep.
Third, he got them living in the same room in bunk beds. And then now he's requiring them to have tattoos or they have to leave.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot to say that part. They have to get their tattoo or they have to leave.
So, but not even that. Like, I don't know if you remember, like, I think it was like sometime last year when he had them, I guess, I don't even know if it was like an audition to live in his house or whatever. But he had the girls fighting. And the girl, got her teeth knocked out.
So that makes sense. So that's why they were all in there, because someone in the comments when that was posted was like, well, what the hell are they all doing there? So he's had them living like this for seemingly at least a year now.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, do they have a sex schedule? Like, it's just, to me, I have so many questions.
Girl, it's probably like a whole big orgy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and do you, but like, do y'all really want to be like living in bunk beds? Like, and if you're 24 years old, assuming you're his age, I'm hoping they're all like 18, 19, 20. Because if you're over the age of 20 and you're willing to do that, like, I cannot, it doesn't register with me. But
yeah, 18 and 19, even 20, like, who raised you? Like, you're misguided at this point.
If you want to live in a dorm, go to college, sis.
Exactly. Like, what are you getting out of it? Because he ain't making that much money.
No, and that's what I'm
taking care of all of y'all. And clearly he ain't taking care of y'all. He got y'all living in bunk.
Because he got y'all living in bunk beds. Like, do y'all have like a lunch schedule?
It's like I just have so many.
It definitely looked hot in there. It looked so gross. The one girl looked like she was like sweating and like she was laying there with her scarf. And I'm just like, no, like, so, you know, I don't know.
Wet dogs up in there too.
I bet. I guarantee it. I was thinking that too. It was just really troubling. I was just like, no. So I don't know if y'all seen that, but y'all might want to look at the video on that one. But it's a real big no.
Anything for clout,
I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm good. But speaking of clout, speaking of people who say anything out their mouth, we're gonna talk about Dr. Umar. For those of you that don't know, I don't even know how to describe Dr. Umar. He calls himself the Pan-African Prince or something, I believe. Think of the wokest person that you know and then wake them up a little bit more. That's how I would describe Dr. Umar. Some of his takes are pretty outlandish. Some of his takes are just problematic. Some of them make sense. Overall, I'm not a fan of him. But he's super pro-black family, super pro-black woman. But also he doesn't believe in black women like straightening their hair. He doesn't believe in them like doing anything to alter their just natural blackness. Like, if you have long nails, if you do a lot of lashes and makeup and all, that's not him. He's all like, nah, that's all European. That's all like anti-black. No. So he was on the Breakfast Club earlier this week, and he brought up, the interview was decent. Probably one of the ones I could stomach this one. Usually I'm just like, whenever I hear him, I'm just like, oh God, what does he have to say now? But this one, I found it to be interesting because of two things. The first being that he spoke about President Biden having done nothing for black people after pretty much allowing us to carry him through the election. So for me, that immediately woke up my thought process, because one of the points that he made, but I actually made it in my head, was that how the hell did we get that Asian and Pacific Islander bill through Congress and passed into law within months of these Asian people going through their situation where they're being, there's hate crimes against them? Black people, we can't get nothing. Everything is, we can't do this. We can't get police reform through. We can't get this through. And for me, it was very troubling. That was my first thought, was that good for y'all. Like, great. I'm glad y'all got y'all bill. I think it's called the COVID bill, nicknamed COVID bill, whatever. I'm glad y'all got y'all bill through Congress. I'm glad y'all got your protection. But why the hell is it so easy to get something through for them, but to get through these bills for police brutality, to get through these bills for things to build back up our community and to help us, why is it such a fucking problem? Right. Like, help me understand. And I agree with Dr. Umar. Basically, he was like, President Biden did that, like, no problem getting that through Congress. On day one, I believe they said he passed a law for the transgenders. Mm-hmm. And again, very happy. They need it, for sure. They need to protect those people's lives. But again, how come you can assign this executive order and boom, 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 but you can't make nothing happen for us? And it's just really freaking frustrating because y'all are continuing to perpetuate this idea that y'all use us to get where you need to get, and then you forget about us. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I hate that it continues to be that. So I'm gonna be honest, I agree with him on that point. What were your thoughts on his points with that?
No, I definitely agree with him on that. And I was like, you know what, like, he actually makes sense. Like, I can actually agree with this because it's like you said, like, you're passing all these bills for these other minority groups and things like that. Okay, but what about us? We've been suffering for how long now?
Right.
And we can't get y'all can't even pass the Emmett Till bill yet? Like, what's going on? Like, and it's like, for me, it's like, okay, they can't pass a bill because then everyone in higher power is going to be affected by it.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to hold yourselves accountable for the bullshit that y'all have been allowing to happen. And it's like, I want to be honest, as much as I'm happy that Derek Chauvin was charged with those crimes, I'm not satisfied. I want more. That was one. So let's drain you. Donald Trump talks about draining the swamp. Let's drain the damn swamp. Let's get all of them out of here. Let's go ahead and make sure every bad police officer that is attacking or carelessly killing Black people is the fuck up out of here. And I think another one of the points that he made was he was saying that we don't treat these police brutality killings of Black people as hate crimes. But as soon as someone does something to anyone else of another race, it's a hate crime. If it's Islamic people, if it's Jewish people, if it's Asian people, whatever it may be, it's hate crimes. But then with us, it's like,
because they don't want to admit that racism exists,
and it does, and it's harder on us. Like, let's be honest, we're the ones who are being affected by this the most. Like, this Asian stuff is new. This has just happened. I'm not saying it's never been, hate crimes against Asian people, but to this level where it's being this publicly known and it's being this frequently happen, it's new. So I did agree with him on that one. The next part that he said that I thought was interesting, because of the last episode of the podcast, was the quote-unquote snow bunny crisis.
Yes.
And basically, Dr. Umar was saying that there's a snow bunny crisis happening in America, and that Black men and women are not marrying each other. Specifically, the Black man is not choosing the Black woman as his wife. Mm-hmm. And so the reason why he says that this is a crisis is because he says that marriage is the economic situation. He doesn't believe it's for love. He doesn't believe it's for, all the things of the Bible and that people like to say that, marriage is about. He says the economic, basically, decision. So he's saying that when you choose to, as a Black man, to partner with a Black woman, like this is your partner, should something happen to you, your assets, your money is left to a Black woman, and that Black woman will have control over that money. And then from there, she will continue to do Black things with your Black money. And so he was saying that, should you see a Black man marry a white woman, something happened to him, she gets all of his assets when he dies, then at that point, the money is going to be anti-Black. It's not going to keep going towards Black things. And so therefore, it's a loss for us. And he also goes on to say that women typically marry an upgrade. And that it's very rare that you see a white woman who has money with a poor Black man because there's no benefit for them there to do so. And so kind of got me thinking, how I feel about relationships with people that are, biracial. That's your thing. It is most certainly probably never going to happen for me. Again, we've had a whole conversation about that just one episode ago. However, I was just wondering, what are your thoughts on that? Like, where do you kind of see that?
I kind of agree with him.
Okay.
as far as, I don't think that marriage is a total like economic whatever situation or whatever. I do believe it is like a kind of like a business partnership when you marry someone, but I don't think that's what it's all about.
Right.
But I do agree with him in the sense that, Black men, Black women, Black children keep everything in the Black family and the Black community. And he also made a good point. He was like, other races, they keep it within their culture. Black, we're probably one of the only cultures that doesn't keep it in the community. Money, we don't keep in the community. So I agree with him. I had seen this meme probably a couple years ago, and it said Black kids need to see Black men loving Black women, and I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it starts with us. It starts in the home, and then we can pour it out into the community. Because if we're able to, marry Black, then eventually we can create Black businesses, buy Black, things like that. So I agree with him in that sense, because I was like, yeah, that's true. And it's like, I don't really have a issue with interracial marriage. I mean, you marry who you want to marry. But as for me, I want to marry a Black man, have Black children. So I mean, I agree with him. I think he actually made sense on this interview.
Yeah, I think
some of the points he was making.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, there is a snow bunny crisis out here. And I feel like Black men are choosing to marry outside of the Black culture for dumb reasons. Oh, Black women, they nag too much. We have this stereotype put on us. We have this stigma placed on us. And then, so it's we're getting overlooked because of that. When you're not really, okay, how about you choose the right Black woman? All of us aren't that way.
Right.
There are some good Black women out
What are you
here.
doing? If you feel like she's nagging, are you doing something that she has to
nag about? What about you?
What about, looking at yourself? I mean, I agree with you. I mean, again, I don't think, so here's my thing. I don't think he's completely right. I don't think he's completely wrong. I think it's important that when you choose your partner, whether it's a Black person, a white person, Hispanic, whatever it may be, Asian, you're making sure that you're choosing a partner that appreciates your culture and that they understand that in the event that something happens to you, that they should still find ways to support your culture if they want to continue to build upon your legacy. So for me, if you choose, because I do know people in interracial relationships, and I know that the husband or the wife, whichever one is not a part of our culture, super embraces our culture. And I know that in the event that something happens to them, that their children will continue to be raised as not just Black children, but at least know their Black side. They will continue to support Black causes. They will continue to support Black businesses. They will continue to try to uplift the Black community overall. But if you're choosing a partner that ain't down for none of that, that's where I take issue with. And I think that's what he's getting at. Of course, with him, he just is it's black and white with him. It's either you do it or you don't. He doesn't see the in-between. So I'm not saying that in any case it's wrong, because I do know some great interracial relationships that, I mean, despite race, I aspire to have that type of connection with someone. But it's good to see when people do marry out of their race that they have that partner that is still super supportive and understanding of what it's like, or at least try to understand what it's like to be us on this planet and what it's like to raise a Black child and, that type of thing. So I think that's the important thing, because when you're choosing your child, your person to procreate with, you're choosing the mother, the father, and you're choosing their culture, you're choosing that identity. And it's important that you embrace that, even if it's not necessarily what you are. So that's my whole thing with him. But he wild. He said some other wild shit on there that I ain't even gonna get into. But I did have a couple of topics that I kind of wanted to get in with you. And the one of them was about canceling plans. And I'm always super... Before we even get into it, I'm just going to read y'all what the tweet say. The tweet says, normalize canceling plans without an excuse. I just don't feel like it. So then somebody responded and said, this is why a lot of you have no friends. You hide your mannerless behavior under the guise of self-care. And then somebody responds to both of them and says, I think y'all should quit normalizing selfishness and garbing it self-love. Before jumping on this tweet with y'all yes queen BS, you should remember that you did not make the plans on your own. And there are others as well who had other things to do. So This is a big topic for me. I'm curious to know what you think about canceling plans, like with your friends. I'll say with friends or family, because usually with significant other, it's not usually the same type of thing. But when it comes to making plans with friends or family or whatever, what are your thoughts about canceling just because you don't feel like doing it anymore?
I think that's very selfish. Cause it's like, I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, if the plans are made like ahead of time, you know, you were.
Can you hear me? Oh wait, sorry. Start over again because for some reason your microphone got muted. You said you think it's very selfish.
Okay, I think it's selfish. Okay. Because it's like you made plans with these people, and whether you made them ahead of time or not, you know, and then it came down to the time for the plans to happen, and then you're like, okay, well, I really don't feel like doing this, like, so I'm just gonna cancel. Okay, so at least offer an explanation. I think that's just considerate. I think that's the respectful thing to do, especially if it's your friends, your loved ones, whomever it is. It's like, or if you already know you're gonna cancel, just be like, look, like I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it, but I'll let you know, you know, when the time comes. I mean, yeah, I don't think you should just cancel plans just because you don't feel like doing it. Because I mean, you don't know what those other people had planned. Like they could have, you know, canceled something with someone else or decided not to do this or do that because they want to spend time with you. You know, so I think an explanation is needed. Like, don't just cancel plans on me and not tell me, like, or just don't show up or whatever the case is. Like, be respectful.
Or just because you just don't want to do it no more. Like, I don't think you should force yourself to do stuff that you don't want to do, but like also have some respect for your friends.
Exactly. But just say that. They're like, look, I really don't feel like doing this, so I'm not gonna go. Okay, cool. I can respect that more than you just canceling and not saying anything, or you just not showing up. Period.
I agree with you 100%. I'll tell you why this is like a big thing for me, because I am the queen of making plans and then I don't want to do it anymore. Like it is to the point where like Justin's like, why do you even make plans? But I always force myself to go through with it anyways, because I do not like letting people down. And I am super respectful of people's time and that kind of thing, right? So for me, I am the queen of that. So I have in my older years started just being like, no, I'm not going to make the plans. Like I don't make plans out too far in advance because I'm very much, because I'm busy and sometimes I don't want to do shit. Like sometimes I'm just like, so for me, I have certain friends that I try not to even make plans with them because I don't want to come off as the canceling friend because I'm not really that person. And I don't want to go there and be in like a mood where I'm like, oh, I don't feel like being here. Like I don't want that to be the case either. So for me, this is big because that's why I get irritated with people when they cancel with me, because it's like, no. Do you understand that I also may not have wanted to go, but like here I am getting dressed, trying to get myself together to go out somewhere with you. And like for me, it's really important that you come because I could have been doing something else, whether it be absolutely nothing, sleeping in my house, chilling, hanging with my boyfriend, cool. But I could be doing something else. I don't have to be around you. I don't have to be like spending my time with you. So I think that we have to start treating our friends that their time is a privilege, just like your time is a privilege. Like respect their time, respect the fact that people have to drive, especially for like me. I'm outside of DC. I'm like 35 minutes outside of DC. So if we're making plans in DC, we're making plans in Arlington, Maryland, whatever, I have to drive. I have to pay tolls. Like I have to do a lot to actually get to the city. So it's like, don't play with me. Like, do not play with me. I have to literally get myself mentally prepared. I have to get dressed. I have to do all these things because it's not as quick as run out the door because I'm living in DC or I'm living close to DC anymore. I don't live close to DC anymore. When I did, if somebody canceled on me, it was not a big deal because I'm not leaving my house until 15 minutes before I have to be there because I'm right here. But if I'm leaving my house 35, 40 minutes before we have to be somewhere and you just come texting me as I'm walking out the door talking about you don't want to do it no more, nah, I'm good. So I'm really big on trying not to make plans too far in advance because when I do, I can guarantee almost every time I'm end up being like, why did I make plans?
Right.
Yeah. Just to be like, I don't know. He literally says like, this is one of your flaws is that like you love the idea of doing something, but when it comes time to do it, and it's like, I don't know why I get like that. I think I just get so exhausted. Like work will have me exhausted. I'll just be like, I got to drive. I got to pay for parking. I got to do all of this. So for me, it's definitely like something I'm working on, but I'd never cancel. I'm not saying never, but unless I'm like feeling really, really bad or something, like I go through with it, and it sucks sometimes because you're like, I don't really want to beer. And you count down to like, you know, you can go home and it's just like.
Right, or you can help when they cancel the plans before.
Yes, girl. I actually had hung out with some friends recently and I was like starting to get to the point where I was like, I don't really want to do this. Girl, I'm so glad I went and had so much fun. I said, see, this is why I got to adjust my attitude, because by the time I got there, we have fun. And I'm like, I'm not ready to leave. Like, I don't want to go home yet. Like, I'm having so much fun. But I think also it's hard for us because since COVID, we haven't really had a lot of that interaction. So for me, it made it worse for me because now the only person I want to be around is my boyfriend, because it's like, that's the only person I've been around. So it's like, I'm good. We don't have to leave the house. Like, we made it through like the most boring part of this whole situation. So now things are opening back up. And I'm like, do we really have to go? So I will say, y'all, like we always say, y'all respect y'all friends, respect their time, because people do not owe you nothing and they don't have to be your friend or they don't have to give you their time. So you have to value it, because we all are busy. We all have things to do, like, you know, whatever it may be. So I think it's important to just make sure you respect your friends.
Right. And if they're a real true friend, then they'll understand, like, okay, no problem. You know, we'll just maybe next time or whatever. I'll let you know, friend. It's like, unless I know for sure I can make it or I know I want to do it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm down with that. Otherwise, I'm like, I'll let you know, because a lot has changed for me. So it's like, and then I have a child. So it's like, I can't really commit to a lot of things ahead of time. So I'm like, okay, like, that sounds nice, but I'll let you know, because I don't really know what my schedule is just yet. So
that's funny you say that, because I was talking about planning like a little small girls trip with Tan and Crystal at the end of the summer, like around your birthday. And I was like, I'm going to invite Ivy if we do it, because I'm like, her 35th birthday will be coming up. And I was like, she might want to do it as part of her celebration. And I was like, but I cannot plan anything with Ivy too far in advance because she has the kids. I'm like, so we'll probably have to plan this like midsummer when she has a better idea of like her schedule, like that type of thing or whatever, because she's a mom first. And I'm not going to be like, girl, you can't go on vacation with us because you have to be a mom. Like, so I think that I appreciate that. It's like, it's better to be like, I'll let you know. I'm not sure. It depends, especially with you right now, with you doing so much driving and whatnot. I know y'all have to be tired, so it's like I'm not gonna be like I'm. It's crazy because like I can't wait to visit you again, and I'm just trying to find time to actually come visit you again. Yeah. I'm like it's just crazy, and it's like I don't want to tell you, oh, I'm definitely coming, and then like I'm exhausted. I'm telling you I'm coming a month in advance, and then like by the time the month comes, I'm like, all right, I don't really feel like it. So I'm just trying to like play it by ear. Like, okay, let me look out the next 2-3 weeks. What does it look like? Whatever. But yeah, I definitely think y'all got to respect y'all friends' time, especially in these adult years when we all have things. If it's not a kid, it's a pet, it's a relationship, it's a job, it's a side job. It's like people got stuff to do, so like they don't have to spend time with you.
And then y'all be wondering why people don't be inviting y'all nowhere.
Exactly. Or wonder why you don't have no friends no more. Why don't nobody fuck with you? Because you're shady and you're shaky, like you're flaky. Like don't nobody have time for that. Or also, don't be the friend that every time somebody invites you, you never, ever go either. It's like, if that's going to be who you are, then you need to just say that. Like, we're friends, casual. Like, you need to we're acquaintances. Friends show up for each other. Acquaintances are people that you know. I have several acquaintances. I have few friends. And I think that's just really important for people to realize, too. Like, if you don't like hanging out with somebody, they ain't your friend. Or you don't want to show for them, that's not your friend. So stop using that word. Let's normalize using the right word. Coworker. Acquaintance, old friends, whatever it may be, because everybody ain't associate, because everybody ain't your friend.
I know.
Right. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't your bro. Everybody ain't your sis. Let's stop using best friend. I can't stand when people throw that word around.
Yes.
I use that term towards you and that's it. Like I don't have nobody, because I don't have that, well, I mean Justin, but I don't have that relationship with another female where I'm really like, I'm all the way in. So it's like for me, I use that word very, very, I use it only when I really mean it, because that's a different level of friendship for me. When you're my best friend, I show for you a little bit different than I do, just as a friend. So I think it's important that we just, kind of work on friendship, being good at friendship, because I think, and in general, we suck at friendship and we put everything into relationships. So,
and then like for the people that's trying to disguise it as self-love, okay, that's not true self-love, because if you truly love yourself, then you know how to love other people. So let's talk about that.
Self-care. I mean, and don't get me wrong, because we do come in here talking about don't do things that don't make you happy, because that is self-care. I agree. But don't shit on people all the time and call it self-care. That's what y'all be doing. Y'all shit on people all the time and call it self-care.
Your peace.
Yeah, and if that person disrupts your peace, they don't have no business being your friend. If they disrupt your peace that much, you don't have no business being that person's friend. For me, I have friends who I literally hang out with them every few months or less, because hanging out with them can be a lot for me. And so therefore, I don't pretend that I can hang out with these people on a regular basis, because I can't. They are my friends. I do love them. But I can't do the every week, every 2 weeks. I can't even do once a month with you. I have to take you in small dosages, because for whatever reason, you're a lot for me. So I think that that's the important thing, to just know, be self-aware enough to know that if you're making plans with a friend that you know is a lot for you, you don't need to make plans with that person all the time. You need to just think more about, what does this look like? How often can I really see this person, is what I think. But with that being said, there's another topic that I wanted to get to, and this one is about cheating and relationships. So this is a 2-part situation. So we have been gone since the whole Derek Jackson thing has kind of played out or whatever. And I don't want to go back over that, but y'all know Derek Jackson was the guy sitting in the car giving relationship advice. I personally never listened to him. I don't ever listen to none of them, because I'd be like, what the hell do y'all really know? What makes you an expert? Whatever it may be. But basically, y'all know that part of it, was that I'm not going to say made, but him and his wife made a video together where they addressed the cheating and, whatever. And during the video, sis showed up like she had just gotten up from a nap on a Wednesday at about 2:00. That nap you take in the middle of the workday when you're supposed to be working from home. And you about to sleep hard, so you go ahead and wrap your hair, you and your little around the house, work from home clothes, whatever. And it looked like he went and tapped her, was like, yo, we about to make the video, get up. And she literally got up from the bed in her nap and went down there in her bonnet, her scarf, and was like, I'm here, what do you want? So she shows up with a scarf on. She doesn't really have on any makeup, which is fine. Her body language seems irritated. If you ask me personally, she seemed very much like, okay, what the fuck? So yeah, she shows up, they make this video, whatever. And so people, of course, being people on the internet, they go digging into sis's background a little bit more, go digging into her social media. Now I know we both did this. And so here I wanna talk about what we did and what our thoughts were versus what this tweet says. So this tweet says, now I'm not saying Derek Jackson gets a pass for cheating, but I just went to Miss Jackson's page. And I mean, ma'am, doesn't paint her nails, doesn't do her hair, doesn't dress feminine to entice her husband at all. Come on. That's the number 1 rule. Keep it cute. So I want to be very clear with y'all what I'm about to say. Me and Ivy were weak as hell at that girl's Instagram because she does not dress feminine. But it had nothing to do with saying that it was okay for him to cheat. It's just you can't dress. It's just funny to me. I don't give a fuck how you don't have to dress feminine to dress. You can dress very masculine and still have a very good style. But sis just looked like she was dressing like she was 58 or either a 32-year-old male. It was you either got one or the other, 32-year-old male or 58-year-old female. And it was just funny to me because it's sis, when you wake up in the morning, what do you think? Male or female today? It was confusing. Right. I don't give a fuck about painting her nails, doing her lashes, all that. Do whatever makes you happy. But I'm still gonna laugh when you look crazy. And you look crazy. Now, with that being said, I think we both can agree, we're not saying it's an excuse for cheating.
No, definitely not.
But sis, why do you we just want to know? Why?
I went on her Instagram page because one, I had never seen her. I never knew this man was married.
Me neither.
I never listened to him, but he would always pop up on the Shade Room and all these different vlogs.
Spiritual Word or something like that.
Yeah. So I would see him. So, and it's okay. It's I knew in the back of my mind he was married because he just gave me that type of vibe. But I never knew he was married or who he was married to. Same. So when people were tagging her IG page, I was oh, well, let me go see who his wife is. Y'all, I went on Shorty's page and oh my God, I sent Rudy a screenshot.
She was dressed like James St. Patrick in one of them.
So she just woke up and chose to put his suit on?
She woke up and I'm channeling my inner ghost. James St. Patrick.
Yes.
She had a 3-piece suit.
She had a 3-piece
with a turtleneck, right?
Suit.
nuts. Like it has literally nothing to do with cheating. You look nuts just because you look nuts. Even if he never cheated on you. Yeah, you just look nuts. Like, that's just what it is. So, like, for me, I was like, yeah, no, this is not gonna, this is bad. But with that being said, like, is there, okay, we both can agree that her dressing, not doing her nails, not being feminine is not a reason to be cheated on.
Right.
But are there ever acceptable reasons to cheat on someone?
I'm going to say no, there aren't any acceptable reasons for you to cheat on someone. But I am going to say that cheating is pretty much expected in a relationship. Just based off of what I know, how people move, things like that. Because there's never a good reason to cheat. It's just going to happen. That's just not something that you can prevent. Like, you can be out here dressed like, you could
be Beyonce.
Designer from head to toe.
Beyonce got cheated on. Like, that's just easy. We can just go straight to, like, yeah.
You could be out here looking like Beyonce every day of the week, and you could still get cheated on. So I don't think appearance has anything to do with it. You could be out here popping your pussy like Cardi B. You gonna get cheated on.
She got cheated on. Wop.
She got cheated on.
And you gonna get cheated on.
So I just think, I just don't think there's ever a good reason to do it, but people do it for whatever reason. Is there a good reason? No, but
I agree in part and I disagree in part. So I agree that there's never a good reason. Okay, maybe I don't agree with that. No, okay. I empathize because sometimes y'all be out here in relationships not showing up to the damn relationship and expecting someone to be faithful. And by showing up, I mean, it could be you're not providing sexually, you're not, maybe visually he does need that. Maybe he does need that Beyonce look. And you knew that when you got with him and you decide I'm going to switch from Beyonce to James St. Patrick and that's not going to work for him. So you're not showing up in that way. It could be maybe body, maybe you've gained weight and you know that he wants a toned body. So you go and gain weight and now you're not showing up to the relationship the same way. It could be that you know that she expects certain things from you around the house and you were doing those things and then you stopped doing those things so you're not showing up to your relationship. I can understand that, but it also puts the onus back on the person to break up with them before they go out here and do anything crazy. But I will say, I don't want to normalize cheating in a relationship because I don't think that it has to be that way. I have never been in a relationship up until this current relationship, and Justin, I will kill you. You can hear that. I have never been in a relationship where I have been truly boyfriend, girlfriend, and not been cheated on. But I do see where I had my hand in what happened outside of the relationship. I have also cheated. And I do know that there were things that I could have done as an adult or even before I was an adult that I could have done that could have prevented me from going there had I addressed things differently. So I won't say I normalize it because, I don't like that. I feel like that's the problem is that we think like it's okay, it's going to happen, so cool. But I do see how these things happen. If you know that your man needs a certain amount of sex, if you can't provide that, then you need to move on and let him go out here and do what he needs to and find someone that can. If you know that your lady requires a certain amount of masculinity to be taken care of a certain way, if you cannot provide that, you need to move on because you're wasting both of your time. And that's my thing is that move on instead of hurting someone. And I say that because I have been the person to hurt someone. I should have been more like, you know what, this isn't working for me. I need to do something different and move on before I hurt this person. And so I haven't always done that. I can be very honest. But I will say, I thank God that I have learned so much, and that part of me is no longer worth it because you know, seeing somebody that you care about hurt is not something easy. And I look at things where you've been in situations where you haven't been treated good, and seeing you hurt reminds me, like, these people don't deserve this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so for me, I look at it that way. So I don't think there's ever an excuse. I think we have to grow up as adults and step up and say, like, no, it is on me to end my relationship before it gets to that point. So I think that, you know, I'm not gonna go as far as saying normalizing, but I know what you're saying. I agree with you. Like, it's something that just happens.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, I'm not like trying to normalize. I'm just like being realistic about it. Like, I'm not saying like all relationships and all people cheat or anything like that at all. But I'm just saying, like, if someone cheats, it's not really a surprise. It's not really a shock. You know, it's not really like that. I mean, I guess if you have this notion that your relationship's perfect, you thought everything was going well, that person went out and cheated. Okay, I mean, yeah, you might be a little shocked, but at the same time, it's just like,
here we go again.
Society,
it's almost like, okay,
normalized cheating. I'm not saying it's okay by any means, or, you know, but I just think society and social media has normalized cheating. So people think it's easy to cheat. They have, I mean, you got social media, you got the DMs, you got everything. Like, it's easy to cheat, so people do it. Do they have a good enough reason to do it? I just don't think there's a good enough reason to cheat. Like you said, like, if you have an issue with something your partner's not doing any longer, or something you want them to do more of, have that conversation. If they're still not providing what you need, then leave.
And that's it for me, is that, you know, I'm thinking about a very specific situation, a conversation I had with someone where they felt like their partner was not showing up for them sexually. They weren't romantic. They weren't, you know, doing the gifts. It was very much like, this is my homie. You know what I'm saying? And so I saw them stick around for a really long time. And I'm like, as a divorced woman, if I could leave marriage, y'all can leave these relationships y'all be in. And that's how I look at it. It's like, and I'm not saying that I'm not trying to compare one or the other, because relationships are very different. But like, at some point you have to choose happiness. And that's the thing. Y'all be choosing messy. Because if you were to just tell your partner, hey, I need more of this, boom, 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 they don't want to show up that way, cool, move on, go do what you want to do, hump and not hump, or whatever you want to do with anybody you want to do it with, that's not their business. But you start hurting people when you start involving this extra, like, unnecessary stuff in it, like, getting another person involved or whatever, or lying to both of them. So the one person don't even know you have a spouse. I mean, don't even know you have a partner, and then, they're cheating with you, and you don't even give them the opportunity to choose if that's what they want to do. Like, those are the things where it's like, you're creating chaos. You're choosing chaos. You're choosing to be messy. And for me, that's a problem. And so, like, it's so much easier. And I'm not saying easy in the sense of, like, it's not easy to break up with somebody, but it's so much easier to choose your own happiness if you're willing to be uncomfortable for a little bit. Breaking up with somebody is hard. Breakups are hard. Even if you're the one who chooses to do the breaking up, there's still like a mourning period that you have to go through. Like, it's hard. But we as adults, especially being in our mid-30s, we got to start choosing to be grown-ups and stop perpetuating this bullshit as, like, behavior that we learn in our 20s and stuff like that. Like, that's my thing. So it's like, for me, there's not a good enough reason. I don't want to do it, again, because it just sucks really bad to be the person that hurts somebody like that. And it's bad karma. That shit gonna come back around one way or the other. It may not come back in a relationship, but it's gonna find its way back to you. You can bet that. But there's a second part to my question. And the second part to my question comes from, I'm going to see if I can play this clip. I don't know if it's going to work. Let's see. Let me see where my volume's at. Give me a second. I want y'all to hear this clip. Y'all remember Megan from Bad Girls Club? She was, like, from Houston, and I liked her. I've always kind of liked Megan. I liked her on Basketball Wives that one season because she came for Drea's ass every chance, because Drea thought she was the queen of everything, and Megan came for her the whole damn time. And so I really like Megan, but I'm gonna try to play a clip for y'all. It's from a show that she has on the network called All Black. I subscribed to it for a couple of months. Had a bunch of those, like, little hood movies up there and stuff like that. You know what I just thought about? Speaking of hood movies, we skipped the topic. We're going to have to go back to the topic. I just thought about that. I just realized I skipped the topic. But she, y'all should know her. I think she's known for her bomb ass eyebrows. Her eyebrows have been laid since before eyebrows being lit was a thing. But I'm gonna play y'all this clip from Megan if it'll work. Did you hear it?
Mm-mm.
Oh. All right, y'all, hold on. Let me see if I can hold on 1 second. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1 second, y'all. I want y'all to hear this. I don't know why I can't get it to play. But anyways, basically, what Megan said is that she believes in cheating respectfully. Mm-hmm. And sorry, so she believes, did you hear me earlier?
Yeah.
About the cheat? Okay, so Megan says she believes in cheating respectfully. So to her, cheating respectfully means like you don't bring home an STD. You don't, you're not out here embarrassing her publicly, like that type of thing. So she feels like she's not leaving you for cheating on her. She feels like it's a part of life. It's going to happen. And as long as you do it, quote unquote, respectfully, then she can live with it. She said the only things that she can't feel like you can figure out in a relationship is bringing her an STD. And if they're gay, I believe is what her things were. Those were the two things that she felt like she couldn't work out.
Or if they brought home a baby.
Yes, or they brought home a baby. So no break babies, no Gabrielle Union, no Ludacris and his girl, like none of that. So yeah. Thoughts. Or do you want me to go first? I don't care.
You can go first. I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay. The part of cheating that I think sucks the most is definitely the fact that people know. It's like, who knew? Mm-hmm. How many? Because me, who knew? How many of your friends knew? Who was there?
Right.
Like, was you embarrassing me? Was you booed up and cuddled up and loving and kissing all up on this person in front of people? Because it's like it's one thing for me to get past like it's one thing for us to have to get past the hump, right? Mm-hmm. It's another thing for what I have to get past the fact that people know. Shit for me, that will make me not be able to forgive you. I'm going to be 100. And don't get me wrong, I'm still not going to be able to forgive you, Justin, if you're listening. I'm still not going to be able to forgive you. However, it's not even going to cross my mind if I found out you had your friends involved, if I found out, not even if they were involved, if they even knew, if you had this bitch around your friends, if you was taking her to work events, any of that, anything that's done publicly, nah, I'm good. If you was around her friends, if there's pictures that somebody can, no. If there's pictures, it's like no. However, what cheating respectfully, like, I guess, like, I don't know. I can't say for sure. I want to hear what you have to say.
So, I mean, I get what she's saying, where she's coming from. It's like, okay, if you're gonna cheat, do it discreetly. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're gonna cheat, like, that shit should not be coming back to me. I shouldn't have nobody hitting my DMs like, girl, I just saw your dude at such and such with such and such. Like, when you involve other people into the mix, like you said, like friends, her friends, your work people, like, then now I gotta face these people and they looking at me like, well, damn, she stayed with him. Like, you know, like, don't be out here embarrassing me. So if you're gonna cheat, if you're gonna do it to where it's between you and that other person. Like, I don't want to know about it. If I find out about it, like, I don't want it to be from someone else. I want it to be because maybe, you know, I saw something in your phone. I'm not going through nobody's phone anymore. Mm-hmm. But I've done that before. But yeah, like, or like, say, like, we cuddled up watching a movie and the side chick calls or something like that. Like, and I'm like, who was that? You know, like, and you find out that type of way. Or you see a receipt for flowers and he ain't brought you no flowers. You know, things like that.
I will burn this whole house down. Do you hear? The whole building. Everybody has to go. Y'all shouldn't live here with his ass. Nobody told y'all to live in the same apartment complex with a cheater. Like, I don't have time. But no, I agree with you.
Yeah, and then, yeah, like, don't bring me no STDs. Don't bring no outside babies. And definitely, if you're going to cheat, make sure it's with another woman.
That for me is...
I mean, I don't have those problems or anything like that.
No, I know what you're saying, but it's just the fact that it's, let's be honest, it's a possibility. Like, there are men who are into bisexuality or just into men, and they're using women as a cover, whatever it may be. Or shit, they might be into bestiality. I don't know. They might be into animals. Whatever it is, it needs to be another human woman. Thank you.
Yes.
So I agree, but I also, because like, like just the thought of getting cheated on makes me so angry, and I know,
but I don't think respectfully is the correct.
It's the word. It's just like, but I get what, like you said, we get what she's saying. It's like,
I think it's cheat discreetly, basically.
Yeah. For me, don't cheat on me, because like I really just don't have it in me no more, Ivy. It's like I've forgiven. I don't have no more forgive. God, let me tell you, God gave me a certain amount of forgiveness, and I've used it all up. So there's none left. So whoever comes into my life after this, I'm sorry, there's none left for me. And you know, Ivy, I mean that from my heart, because you know I'm a forgiving ass person. Yeah. You know I'm a forgiving ass person. From friendships to relationships to family, I'm a forgiving ass person. I'm all out. So if anyone's inquiring, I no longer own any more forgiveness. I've given it all out. So for me, absolutely. Like, but the part is, and I hate to say it, is definitely the pride. Like, that's the first driving factor, because yes, relationships can get over cheating. I have done it before, and clearly y'all probably thinking, well, how is that possible or whatever if you're not in a relationship with somebody that cheated on you? But I have been in relationships where they have cheated and we've moved past it, and that was not the reason why we're not together anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was old news. It wasn't continuously a problem. You know, we've done whatever work we had to do to get past it. So it is figure outable. It is. But every time for me, it's the pride. Like, you think I'm stupid, don't you? Mm-hmm. And the thing is that, like, was this person around your friends? Like, are they like,
do I know this person?
The thing about it is, like, the thing is that I have cheated deep. I have deeply cheated, and I've definitely been around his friends. Like, it's like a worst kept secret. Like, I'm not even a secret. Matter of fact, I hang out with them more than you hang out with them. They actually like me more than they like you, as in the main girl. So for me, it's like, when I think about how I have cheated in the past, how deep it has been, I immediately revert. I immediately go to that. Like, okay, you done had this girl all up in our house. Not that I've done that, but you've had this girl all up in our house, all up in the car. Your friends know her. You probably be having her at work happy hours, like all of this stuff. And it's crazy because I didn't see niggas post their girl openly, but like 2 hours before, you was with me, or 3 hours after, you're gonna be with me. So for me, it's like all that shit, that social media stuff and all that, I don't put no stock into that, like, at all, because it don't mean a damn thing. A lot of times, especially when a man is cheating, it's to pacify the woman so that she thinks that everything is good to go in their head, and she has no idea, like, whatever. So yeah, for me, it's definitely the pride thing first. Second, pride and loyalty are neck and neck when I first think about the two things that are the most problematic for me when it comes to cheating. But like, yeah, I'm not raising that baby.
No.
I don't have it in me. I don't even want to raise my own baby. I don't even like one, but so you think I'm about to raise her baby?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, go ahead. You like men?
No.
Bye. Sorry. Not for me. Do you? Whatever. I don't care what you like, but you ain't for me. And I'm allowed to make that choice. I'm allowed to have preferences. And yeah, STD.
Definitely not staying around.
Never had one. Don't ever want to have one. Get the hell away. You and your little nasty, go over there and be nasty together, because I don't have time for it. So I agree with where Megan coming from, but respectfully, it just ain't the word.
Yeah, that ain't the word.
Yeah. There are certain things that make forgiveness easier. That's what I'll put it. There are certain things that make forgiveness easier.
Exactly.
Knowing that no one knew about the situation, that you were strictly doing this, behind everyone's back, makes it a little easier. At least I know your friends weren't in cahoots with you. That's one thing. Also, I think, if it's a limited situation, if it's just sex, okay, I can get past that. But the problem is, and Justin LeBoy talks about this all the time, y'all go out here and find side women, but y'all be in relationships with them. And that's the part where it's like, y'all are in full-fledged, y'all in relationships. So it's like, part of me is just like, if you can go do all of that, then just go do all of that. Like, leave. And so I get that people have different reasons for whatever they do. But that's the problem, is that the side chick is no longer just a side chick anymore. They are going out and getting into full relationships. My mother's calling me. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, let me give you a call back. Yeah, let me give you a call back. I'm recording my podcast. All right, bye. Sorry, y'all. I apologize. My mom would never normally call me on Friday at 9:00, so I was a little worried. And I was thinking I was around my grandma, but I had just talked to my grandma before this. I'm sorry. I was like super not something I would do. But anyways, so so my point is that like y'all are not out here just humping on the side. Y'all out here creating secondary relationships.
Right.
And that's where it's like, that's another thing. If I find out here you had a whole completely other relationship, get the hell on. Get the hell on. And so it is things that make forgiveness easier, but cheating these days is starting to become more old school and following.
It is, yeah.
Where grandpa had, and I say my grandpa because I don't know this, but I'm just saying in general, grandpa had a whole nother family.
Right.
And that's how it was in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And then cheating became more of like, to me, this is my personal opinion, more of like, the woman you might have like a fetish about. Like, I like a fat ass. So you go out here and you're humping a girl with a big ass. Or you like one with big boobs. And so you go out here, or it's just about the body or it's about the fantasy of it all.
Right.
But it is slowly, to me, getting back to whole side families, whole side relationships. And y'all can count me out because I don't have it in me. Like I said, forgiveness is done. Understanding is done. Empathy is done. All I have in me is crazy. That's the only thing I got left. And I got a lot of it. So that's a good thing. I still have a lot. So I just, it's not for me. But like, yeah, I cheating respectfully, that's new. Yeah. That's all I can say. Like but I get where she's coming from. But again, it goes back to that normalizing cheating. It's almost like, you know what? I will say this, and this is me being very transparent. I am so damaged from past relationships and how I have treated people in past relationships that when things are going really well with Justin and I'd be waiting for somebody to pop up and be like, I'm fucking your man. Like, and it's like, he don't be doing nothing. He don't give me no vibes of that. Like, not that means that he can't be doing it, because we all know. Right. But there's nothing that's suspicious in my mind. It's not like, oh, what is he doing? What is that? But I'd be like, all right, things are going really good. When a side bitch gonna pop up, like, look at me and your man, a video or something. Like, I literally been thinking, it's like, it's so sad that we have kind of normalized cheating to the point where it's like, all right, when that ball gonna drop? When that shoe gonna drop? Like,
it's like you're waiting on it.
I'm waiting on it.
Holding like, your breath.
Right, and I feel like that because sometimes he'll be doing absolutely nothing. Like, we'll be at the house chilling, and I'll be like,
and you got a whole attitude.
Let me just tell you, I'm crazy, and I would kill you if you cheat on me. He'll be like, what? Like, we're watching a movie. And I'm like, I'm just letting you know. Like, if you're doing something, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Get it over with. Dead hurt. Let me never find out, because... So I hate that I'm that damaged, but I will be honest. I am a little damaged in that sense. But enough of the cheating. Before we get to rapid fire, because this is going to be good. I hope it's going to be good.
Oh, God.
And you have to answer everything, because I answered everything. So before we get to rapid fire for Ivy, y'all, don't be scared.
I'm going to take a shot before I do this rapid fire.
Fair. So before we get to that, I want to talk about this crazy tale movie that I watched while we were on break, and then I got Ivy to watch. While we were watching it, Justin was like, text Ivy. I was like, why? He was like, she needs to watch this. So he literally was like, tell Ivy about this movie. So we were at home on a Friday night, and so I had scrolled through social media earlier that week, and it was like on Spiritual Words page. It was like this movie called Secret Society, and everybody was like, that movie was so crazy. It was so crazy. The trailer looked very interesting. It was like these two girls, they looked like they were like city girls, essentially. It looked like they was just like getting niggas for their money. It looked like they was just, very city girl. And I was like, okay, this might be interesting. I was like, but is it going to be stereotypical, like scamming guys for money, like whatever, just using men, whatever. So I turned it on. And if you have not seen the movie, spoiler alert, before we go on, so I'll give y'all time to cut it off. But if you've not seen the movie, it starts off with two beautiful women living in, I think, Atlanta. Is it Atlanta?
Yes.
Yes, they're living in Atlanta and living a very much glamorous lifestyle. They have all the bags, the shoes, the lashes, the weave. They look really pretty. And, they allude to, like, the type of women they are not the type that ever find, like, they're happily ever after or whatever. And they also allude to the fact that, like, I'm going to tell you this story and you'll see why it just doesn't go right for me. Like, the lead character is like, I'm going to tell you this story and, like, it doesn't work out for me, So then it flashes to their childhood. And these two beautiful women were born natural men. So they are trans women. Now in real life, I do believe they're both actually women.
Yeah.
But they play the characters well. I mean, it's not that hard. They're playing themselves essentially. So, but they talk about how they became friends when they were younger, and they go into, the lead character goes into a little bit of detail about how she's able to, she doesn't tell us, but it plays out how she's able to hide this from men. So essentially, she's always says that she's on her period when it comes time for sex. She does not allow sex to occur with the lights on. It's only at night with the lights off. She only allows them to penetrate her in her behind. So anal sex only. And so she doesn't allow them, she handcuffs them, she blindfolds them, and I guess they're thinking kinky sex, and yeah. So she walks around with a weight on her shoulders of, am I ever going to be discovered? Because seemingly none of these men know. So, without giving, we can give it away. We told them to turn it off if they even watched it.
It's still something that they should see, and I think by you describing it, you're not giving too much away, but
because you still have to see it yourself. You have to see it for yourself. So the lead character, she's dating. Is it a rotation of 3 or 4 men? She has a rotation of 3 or 4 men, and she uses them all for different things like car payments. One of them bought her a car. One of them helps her pay her rent. They all, one of them's a street dude. One of them's like a goody two shoes businessman. The other one was a up and coming ball player, about to go to the NBA. So the first one to find out about her is the NBA guy, and he immediately was just like, bitch, I will kill you. If you ever tell anyone, all of that. Yeah. So her best friend is seeing his cousin, I believe.
Yeah.
And basically, she goes to the best friend girl, he found out about me. He gonna tell his cousin. They gonna kill us. So the cousin ends up getting locked up the same day, the day after he finds out that she's really a man. So they're like, we're not worried about it. He locked up, and the other guy's not gonna want anybody to know this. He about to go to the NBA. He don't want nobody to know that he was with a man or whatever. So we're good. So then it kind of just progresses forward in the various relationships. They meet. Well, I'll let you tell somebody. You can tell some, because I want to know, what do you think about it?
Okay, so you talking about the white man?
The plot, yeah, the white man.
Okay, so I think they had been I think the other girl, she had kind of been seeing this guy off and on, when she would fly out to LA, she would see him here and there. So he was kind of on the roster, but he won't full time.
Right.
So they get flued out. They city girls. They got flued out to LA to meet these wealthy white businessmen or whatever. They
wine and dine them.
Wine and dine them.
And I'm talking about not little one. I'm talking about
the house that they were in was
a floating house.
It was a floating house on the water. Jewelry, clothes, bags, everything.
And not just little play jewelry, diamonds and
big boy stuff. The dudes that they were dealing with in Atlanta probably could never. Yeah, they couldn't. They could never. So, they got there, they're with these men. They know that they're actually men. Natural born men. That's what they're into, pretty much.
But the new girl, the girl who wasn't messing with the take it back a step. Yeah. So the
girl, she wasn't really messing
with the guy that she gets hooked up with.
Yeah.
But her friend puts her on you know how it is.
I'm gonna put you.
I put you on with his homie or whatever.
Because I'm with him, so you gonna have to be with him. So you have to be with him.
Because it's to take one for the team. Yeah. But it ended up working out, and they both was girl, I can't believe this, and this is crazy, blah blah blah. So the lead character, I cannot remember what her name is.
I can't either.
I'm gonna have to Google it while we're doing this. But the lead character, she ends up staying with the guy or whatever, and he ends up being well, I know that, I know what you are, that's what we're into, whatever. It was like, yeah, I know that, you know, what you guys are. So just letting you know, like, it's okay with me. I accept that. Like, it's fine. Mm-hmm. And so, it's Raina, and wait, that's their real name. Sorry. Okay, so Celeste is the lead, and then Tina is the best friend. Okay, so Celeste is like the dude who's messing with Celeste or whatever. It's like, yeah. So I know what's up. Like, I know y'all are men. It's cool. That's what we're into. So he ends up trying to have sex with Celeste,
and sex ended up fucking him. Celeste
so normally Celeste is the one to take the penetration, but in this case, he wanted her to give it, and Celeste did it, and she was disgusted, like completely disgusted. But she did it because it was like she was there. She was in Mexico. They flew him out to Mexico, like whatever. So anyway, Celeste was pretty much just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm going home to Atlanta. This ain't for me. And Tina was like, well, I really like this guy. I'm really into this guy. Whatever. So they go back home to Atlanta. She disappears for a few days. She comes back, and one of her main dudes, the one who's paying her car note.
Well, hold on. We forgot Tina got engaged.
Oh, yeah. So I thought it was after. So Tina got engaged in Mexico, like before they go back. So Tina is like over the moon happy. She's like, okay, this is good. And so that's where they get in the part where like happily ever after never happens for girls like us. Like, this is crazy or whatever. So Celeste was like, I'm happy for you, sis, like whatever. So I think she decides she can move out to LA or whatever. She's not gonna be in Atlanta no more. So Celeste goes home. She's talking to like one of her main boos. This is the drug dealer boo.
Yeah, he bought her like the Bentley.
Bought her the Bentley or whatever. So he shows up like, where you been, blah, blah, blah. So she tries to get her house ready for him to make it look like she was on her period because it was daylight. She couldn't have sex or whatever. And so dude ends up being like, yo, I'm trying to fuck or whatever. And she was like, no, I'm on my period. He was like, look, I know what's up. He was like, I know you're a dude. Like, I know what you're doing. I still want to do it anyways. Yeah. What's up? So from there, she's like, oh my God, really? So from there, she goes immediately to happily ever after. Like, okay, Tina's found her happily ever after. I found my man. Mind you, her man is actually married. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But she found her version of happily ever after. And she's like over the moon ecstatic. Her boo ends up getting killed that same night.
Yes.
So, yeah. So as quickly as she found her happily ever after, it was over. And so, I mean, I guess without going too much in detail, she ends up meeting a new guy. While she was dealing with her, she was depressed and she was going through it with her new guy. She had gotten into a drinking habit. She was just going out dating anybody every night, different date. She met a dude. She connected with him. He had a kid. He was a single father. And the part that made us stop to take a drink was when they were at that restaurant. Yes. So Tina and her boo, I'm trying to look up her boo's name, but Tina and her boo were
they flew into Atlanta.
They flew in Atlanta because she told him, like, I'm ready to tell
what's his name, Michael?
Let me see.
No, Celeste boo.
Michael, yeah, Tyler. His real name was Tyler, but yeah, Michael. So she ends up telling Michael, like, I want to talk to you about something important tonight. I'm flying. My friends are coming into town. So they come into town to tell in person. So it's Tina and her fiance.
Yeah, basically they're there for moral support.
Now, Tina's fiance don't have no idea what the point of the dinner was. Like, he just thinks they're just there. Right. So she goes and was like, I have something I want to tell you. I know I told you that I was something, but actually I'm a manager. So Tina's fiance almost chokes because he has no idea that this is even on the, like, the itinerary for the evening. And then Tina was just kind of like, so he was like, oh, don't play like that. Like, this is Michael. This is Celeste Boo. Like, don't play like that. I thought she was about to say you was a man. So she realizes, like, oh, crap. I cannot tell him. Like, he's not ready. This is not going to work out for me.
Yeah.
So she ends up telling him after, like, I think he wanted her to meet his parents or something. And it just started getting more serious. She's like, look, I'm a man. He ends up being like, bye, you got to go, leave. I can't believe you did this, blah, blah, blah. So she goes on kind of living her life in depression, whatever. So it's about to be her birthday. So the movie starts at her birthday on one year. And then the following year, it ends on her birthday, the next year, whatever. So Tina flies in from LA after she gets married and everything. And was like, girl, I'm not going to let you be whack on your birthday. We about to go out. Like, we're going to have a good time. They're getting ready. They're taking shots or whatever. And the ball player comes into the apartment that Celeste lives in and shoots both Celeste and Tina.
Yeah.
Tina ends up dying. Celeste ends up making it through. We see Celeste and her fiance and Tina's fiance bury Tina. And then before she died, Tina had given Celeste a house because she was rich now because she was married to that man and was like, come live out here with me, start a new life. Like, Atlanta's getting to be too hot. Your name's getting too out there. Whatever. Like, people are catching on to what you're doing and who you are. It's dangerous. Come out here. So we see Celeste move into the house that her friend left her. And as she's walking into the door, Michael, the ex that she thought that she had told she was the man and was like, I can't handle it, calls her, and then it goes off. So we have no idea how it ends.
You think there's going to be a part 2?
No. I would like, did I tell you it was based off a book? It's based off a book, so we need to read the book because we love a good book. Right. So me and Ivy, one thing about me and Ivy, we will read an urban fiction book.
Yes,
we will read an urban fiction book. Speaking of one of our favorites, The Secrets of a Side Bitch, the whole series, every single book.
On that movie.
Yeah, me too. Because remember the play had came to DC that time or whatever.
Yeah. And they were supposed to start it, but then COVID happened.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, y'all, Secrets of a Side Bitch by Jessica Watkins, right?
Yep.
If y'all have not read those books, read them. And they're in a weird order because it's like the first one, the second one, then it's like the childhood of the main character woman, and then it goes 4 and 5, I think. But anyways, y'all figure out the flow of it. But those books are good. Anything by Jessica Watkins,
good.
It's good. I think she's based out of Chicago. Very, very good writer. Like, love her stuff. If you're into urban fiction, like, great. So one, I don't know. I don't think so because she's getting her happily ever after. And so, like, what is it to tell?
Yeah,
maybe somebody finding out about
it. And she's dead now. So.
Right. So it's like, what is there to... So I don't know. But thoughts. How did you feel about the movie?
Let me tell you. So I didn't know what I was getting into when I started this movie. Brittany and Justin were just like, you have to watch this movie. Like, and then tell us your thoughts afterwards. They didn't tell me anything about the movie. And I was like, oh God. Like, I already knew it had to be something crazy because they were just like, and tell me your thoughts later. Like, and I wouldn't let you pay for it. Like, cause you got to pay for it on Amazon Prime. And that's like, I wouldn't let you pay for it if it was some trash movie or whatever.
Because he was about to just give you his Amazon Prime and be like, well, he was like, I'm just going to give it to her. He's like, you think she'll watch it by tomorrow? I was like, I don't know what she has planned because we rented it for like 24 hours or something.
Yeah.
So he was
like, had it for like 48 hours.
Yeah, something like that. And so he was like, you think she'll watch it? I was like, I don't know. You ended up not watching it for a week, so it wouldn't have worked out anyways.
Exactly.
He was like, I'm just give her my Amazon Prime or whatever. But y'all, you do have to pay for it, but.
Yeah, I mean, it was worth it though. I'm not mad that I paid for it.
Me neither. I'm like, cool.
So, not knowing what I'm going into, like the first like 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, it started out wild. And then as the movie goes on, it gets wilder.
Wilder and wilder and wilder.
I'm just like, but I couldn't stop watching it.
Me neither. And it was like, and I'm quick to cut off a hood movie.
Me too.
I'm like, this ain't God. No, I see what you were trying to do, but this ain't it. But we could not turn it off. And when I saw that he was interested, because he likes movies, but I'm not big on movies. When I saw that he was continuing to be interested, I was like, okay, this is actually a decent hood movie because he hates hood movies.
Right. And if you know like how Amazon Prime is, like any black movie on there, if it's not like a movie that came out in the theaters, it's probably gonna be some garbage.
It is.
So I'm like, oh my God, like these black movies on here be hood of the hood. Yeah. But it was a good movie. It was well written. Like the actors were really good. Like I didn't feel like it was an Amazon Prime movie.
I didn't either. I did not.
But it was just like wow. And I texted them mid. Like, I probably was like 30 minutes into the movie. It's like, what the hell y'all got?
What am I watching? Yes.
I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I just wasn't expecting it. But, I mean, it was a good movie overall, but that shit was wild.
It was wild.
It's probably women or trans women really out here living like that.
Because I was like, I started asking Justin questions. Like, look at me, I'm messy. I'm so messy. I started being like, so have you ever... He'd be like, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me out of this. I'd be like, so have you ever had a woman that only wants you to help her in the butt? Like, have you ever had one that only wants to do it in the dark? Like all of this, like, because first off, it starts off with them meeting guys in the club and giving head within like 3 minutes of the movie starting. So by the way, it's like they go out, they meet some niggas, and they're like in the back room in the club giving head. So like we're talking about like this movie goes from 0 to a trillion real quick.
Yeah, in like 10 seconds.
I started asking questions like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "Why are you asking?" He was so mad at me. He was like, "Can you stop?" Like, no, I have not had sex with a trans person. I'm like, "But did you ever have one that just didn't let you turn the lights on, or was just really insistent on only giving head?"
Yeah, I would have been ready to fight you.
He was so mad. Oh, he was hot. Because I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I'm gonna start asking every man I meet. I'm gonna be like, matter of fact, I'm gonna call my brother after this and start asking him. Because I want to know. Because I bet you somebody we know has been in this and they don't even know that.
Of course,
some of them might have been and they want to be in it. But it's probably some that we know who've been in something that they ain't had no business in and didn't even know they was in it.
I can name a couple off the top of my head.
Let's not.
I'm not, but I can't.
I know, but I'm just saying, let's not, because I can't with you. That's why I hate you. So, y'all, this movie, we didn't give away all the details. We gave away, like, the basic plot. But you have to literally go, because you're going to be in disbelief. Because you're going to be like, well, and they looked so beautiful. I had to literally go and say, well, like, if these are trans, like, well, goddamn, I bet she just step her game up because these men are looking better than me. They ended up really being women. One of them, what's her name? Erica Pinkett. She was on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
So if y'all watch Love and Hip Hop, Erica was a character on Love and Hip Hop for 1 or 2 seasons. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. And then Raina, so Tina is Erica Prickett. Raina was let me see, what else was Raina in? She was in, I feel like she was in something else, but maybe not. But yeah. Oh wait, let's see full bio. Hold on, let me see what she was in as well. Oh, Raina has only been in
this.
Oh, okay. So Raina,
this was her debut.
Yeah, well, Raina debuted out, and that's why I had a hard time finding out if she was a man or not, because out of both of them, she looked more manly to me than the other one. I mean, not manly, but she had like, I could see boyish like features, you know what I'm saying? Now, the other one, Erica, to me, she reminded me a lot of Rashida from Love and Hip Hop for some reason. I don't know why. So I was like, yeah, I don't think she's a man. But then I started looking at both of them like, hold on, do you see the look?
Right.
Girl, I was looking for everything. And then me and Justin was like, all right, well, so I started Googling to find out. But they both are women. Beautiful women, too. But they played the hell out of those roles. Like, I would say, honestly, for
like Vivica Fox, she played in it. She was Celeste's mom.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Vivica played a really good role.
And then what's the guy with the pretty eyes?
Jeremy Meeks.
Yeah, Jeremy Meeks.
Y'all remember Felon Bay, Prison Bay, whatever y'all called him. He did pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was an interesting movie. Jeremy Meeks is fine. It's the jawline and cheekbones for me. It's just. He fine. I don't really even like light-skinned men like that, but he fine. Y'all gotta see it. Y'all gotta see the movie. It was wild. But with that being said, girl, do you want to pause and take a shot before we do this?
Yeah, let's pause.
All right, I'm gonna pause. Okay. Let me see. All right, so we have the shots. Let me get my questions pulled up. Okay. All right, so we have the shot. Here's to Payback.
Oh gosh, cheers.
What did you have? Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I have
It's 0 sugar.
Oh, well, I need that. I'm gonna have to. You might have to mail me a bottle of that. I was drinking Buffalo Trace whiskey, so.
Okay.
I'm more of a brown whiskey person. Yeah. Whiskey.
I had some Crown over there, but
that's actually interesting. It's probably what I need to be drinking. Yeah. But yeah. So, are you ready? Before we get started,
yes.
There is nothing that you cannot answer. I don't care. I answered everything. So, are you ready? Let me get my questions pulled up. Well, too bad. We'll start. All right, so y'all, this is the rapid.
You're going to delete some of this.
No, it's not, because we have the video footage that I'm putting out.
Oh,
so,
God.
Yes. All right, so rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. What's your biggest accomplishment?
Having Milan.
How many times have you been in love?
I mean, do we count high school days?
Yes. If you told that man you love him.
3.
Okay. Favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? Oh.
It used to be Chipotle.
Yeah, but not so much. I don't think I have a favorite restaurant.
Okay, so what's the one meal when it's like it's been a long day and you just got to grab some food real quick? What's that meal?
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Childhood nickname.
Ooh. My dad used to call me Booty.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle, he called me Sweet Pea.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the only 2.
Okay. The furthest you've ever traveled?
I guess California.
Well,
I feel like it's a longer flight. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess the Mexico.
I mean, I've been to Mexico, places like that, but
this is just okay. I see what you're saying, but it's like Caribbean's closer. Well, yeah, it's about the same. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. All-time favorite album.
All-time favorite album. I would. Let me see. I gotta think of the name of it. This is because it's by Tamia.
Okay.
I just gotta remember which one it is.
This is not what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was.
It's Tamia.
Okay, so favorite album, Tamia. Mm-hmm. All right, your favorite memory.
These questions are too.
Don't worry, sis. They coming.
Right, I know. So I'm like, wait.
It's gonna get heavy in a second.
How many questions do I have?
Enough.
I thought that was a limit.
I'm just. It's 18 questions total.
18. I didn't give you that many questions.
That's all right. It's not all of them. Most of them are pretty easy, so don't worry.
Oh God.
What is your favorite memory with me?
We have so many. Favorite memory. I probably can't say it.
Shit, never mind. In that case.
Oh God. I'm gonna say this one just sticks out to me, and it's just probably the most hilarious memory we had together. I think it was my birthday.
Okay.
And you were living in 757. Okay. You, me, and Makita went out to the club. Mm-hmm. Got super drunk.
Oh God! And we had to get picked up from the club.
We go to the bathroom, and I don't know if I got sick or if we just went to pee. I don't know. I don't really recall because I was that drunk. But apparently, I must have looked like I was ill. I must have looked like I was sweating or something, because Brittany has this bottle of water in her hand. Makita was like, Brittany, don't do it. Don't pour it on that girl. Don't pour it on her head. And what does she do, y'all? She pours a bottle of water on my head. I woke up the next morning, half of my hair was straight, half of my hair was curly. And I was butt naked. On the couch. And I was missing an earring.
Oh my God.
Everything everybody told her not to do, she did.
He was like, I'm leaving because you're taking her clothes off. And I was like, she's hot. And he was like, I don't think she's hot.
I woke up freezing, y'all. Like, I was shivering in the fetal position.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, what the hell is going on with my hair?
Like, oh my God, like, oh my God, I forgot he was naked. That's the part that got me. He was like, do not take her clothes off. And I was like, she's hot. And he was like, bring your ass to bed. And I was like, no. Oh my God, okay, that's the good one. Okay. All right, next question. If you had one bad habit you could change overnight, what would it be?
Procrastinating.
Okay. Are you scared of anything?
I'm scared of... I guess I'm scared of heights.
Okay. One word for 2021 so far.
I don't have no words for 2021. So far, we're in what month? Almost 5.
Almost 5. Oh, tomorrow 5.
One word for 2021.
Or a phrase.
I mean, 2021 ain't been bad, so I don't... Like, COVID be gone.
Okay, fair. That's fair. I think we all sympathize with that. I think we can all get with that. Okay, so what is your favorite sex position?
I knew this was coming. I have 2.
Okay. We have 2 ears. Look at that. Look at God. He gave us 2 ears for both. One in one ear and one in the other. We're listening.
And I can go one in, one ear, out the other. I would say cowgirl.
Okay.
Position. And then I would say doggy style.
Okay. I think that's standard. I think we can all get with it. I think nobody's going to complain about either one of those positions.
Yeah. I mean, the other ones, I don't even know if the other ones even got names like you.
Oh, they have names. They got to have names. Like, they have names, girl. I'd be surprised. He was like, do the scissors. Do the... I'm like, what?
I do like that position, though, the scissors.
Okay, now we're getting... Okay, well, tell us more about what you like.
Okay. No, that's the question. I've answered that question.
You must give extra information. So the people want to know. Okay, so what's worse? Looking jealous or crazy? Beyonce.
I'm gonna say jealous, because jealous can turn into crazy.
Okay. I agree with you. Okay. So what is your favorite time of the day and why?
I guess the daytime.
Okay.
Especially when the sun is out, because I don't know, it just gives me good vibes, good energy. Like in the middle of the daytime, it's like, okay, I want to go to brunch or I want to go to a day party. So I would say the daytime, middle of the day.
Okay. What is the activity you enjoy doing with Milan the most?
I would say doing TikTok dances.
Okay. Well, you don't ever send me the videos, so y'all can start sending me some videos.
Not be
I won't post them. I
will give you Milan's TikTok page. You can go and see her dancing.
Okay, I will have to, because I don't know nothing about no TikTok. Okay, so what is are you in love?
Yes.
Okay. What is one unpopular opinion that you would share with us?
That I agree with Kevin Samuels 90% of the time.
Okay. What is the hardest part of being a mom?
I would say discipline.
Okay.
It's hard trying to discipline for me, discipline my child. Because she takes it so seriously, like she hates to disappoint someone. And
she's in Pisces, and we are empaths, and we're gonna take that.
Yeah, so I be feeling bad when I have to discipline her, and then she'll come back and like, "Mommy, I'm sorry for being mean to you, Mommy." And so that okay. So
I know it probably makes it hard because you're like, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I'll be like, I'll might yell at her for something, and then I'll feel bad for like 10 minutes later, even though she deserved it. I don't know, because so I would say disciplining her is the hardest part.
Okay. What is the most thoughtful gift you have ever received?
Most thoughtful gift. Most thoughtful. I can't think of just one. Like I think a lot of the gifts that I get are thoughtful because I don't really ask for anything. So it's like if I get a gift, it's like you had to put some thought into it. You have to know me. You have to know what I like or hear me, mention something.
Okay, so what about the most thoughtful gift you've received in the last year? So April last year to April this year.
April last year to April this year. I'll go with this. Like, so every time I get Milan, she has these different pictures she draws for me. And she gets so upset. Like the last time I picked her up, we were about to pull off and she just burst out crying. And I was like, Mom, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? Like, it scared me because it just came out of nowhere. She was like, I left my book bag in Daddy's car. I was like, okay, well, that's okay. Like, she's like, no, I drew you a picture and it was in there and I wanted to give it to you. So I would say probably the pictures that she draws for me are probably the most thoughtful because she has one for every time I get her. Every time I pick her up, she has a picture drawn for me. And it's like the most creative and just like thought out.
Especially with her being so creative.
Like, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, like you really like sat and like drew this picture. I was like, I'm gonna get it to my mommy. Like stuff like that. I'm like, oh. So I would say that.
You're such a mom. I love it.
I know.
Oh, I love it. Okay. So last question. Love or loyalty?
Loyalty.
Fair. So you made it. It wasn't bad.
It was not bad at all.
Okay.
I was worried for nothing.
No, it wasn't bad. I won't go play you. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna. I feel like I am so much more like open just naturally than you. So I was like, I got to get at people some questions to get to know you a little bit more. We might have to do this every episode because I be like, because I got to pull the info out of you.
I know.
This has been a really fun and good episode. I am excited to possibly release the video to this. I think I'll be able to. How do you feel about releasing the video to this?
Yeah. I don't have no problems.
Okay. So I think we can release the video. I know we told y'all we were coming back in May with some new stuff, and that's still the case. It's just maybe not the first day of May, like tomorrow. But we're still working on some things. I just asked you guys, personally, just with me and Ivy, we both have very busy Mays. We both have a lot going on, and with me personally, Ivy has a lot going on personally and professionally. I have a lot going on professionally and side professionally. My other business is just, thankfully, I thank God, it's blowing up, and it's great. But I think people forget that I am also an event planner, and so I do have customers I have to service. So just be patient with us, y'all. We're trying our absolute best we're going to try to continue to be consistent or whatever, but I appreciate you guys. I hope y'all still love the podcast. I saw the downloads that were coming, even while we were out of, commission. I saw y'all still downloading and listening, so I appreciate that. The love and the support does not go unnoticed. And so with that being said, you guys, this is a great episode. So
it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So now I have to go and be a supportive girlfriend and go to Justin's gig, although I don't feel like leaving my house. But
it'll be fun. It'll be interesting.
Will it? I go and I sit beside him and just be there for moral support.
You get to laugh and people watch.
Girl, I want to watch these eyelids. That's what I want to watch. But it's okay. But I'm going to go support him. I'm excited, you guys.
I almost wore my Virginia Kid shirt tonight.
Really? So I just threw it on because I was like, you know what? Oh yeah. So by the way, my shirt, guys, shout out to Kaiser. So this is the shirt, the Flowers for shirt was like the first clothing item he released from his actual clothing line. And so he did a second run of these shirts just a couple of weeks ago. So I have it on here, guys. Love this shirt. Super cute. I think I need to buy a backup. I don't know if he's going to do another run of the shirts. I don't think he is, but I'm going to just ask for my own. But we'll see. But if in case anything happens to it, I just want to have another one. This is Kaiser's shirt. Ivy, we will be seeing each other once or twice this month. What was twice this month? Oh my God! Look, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so excited because it's like, oh my God!
And like back to back.
Oh my God! I'm so pressed. Okay, like I just got excited. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my God! So
I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, so I promise y'all at least one in-person episode, even if it means that we have to release off of a off week or whatever. But I promise y'all one in-person episode. Me and Ivy have some exciting things going on this month, but we're super busy. I think I have something every single weekend this month. So y'all just be patient. And so with that being said, thanks guys. This was a great episode. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to keep the content coming. We're going to have some new stuff for y'all soon. And thank you so much for listening.
Yep.